So in this video, we're going to have a look at how we programmatically assemble unique content at scale to every single recipient rather than using templates, which should typically 2x your reply rate relative to using templates and should also improve your email deliverability. So what you're seeing in front of you is essentially us creating a new sequence. We're going to name that as testing 1, 2, 3. We're going to select the product that we want to sell. So you also need to assemble the product data in the software over here. And then you need to select the language that you want to sell in. By default, it's in English. However, if you do sell into other territories, let's say in Europe, you can select also other languages like French, German, etc. It's an information that you need to fill out in the product section. So then we're going to click on next. Then we're going to select essentially the bunch of leads that we want to go after. So either we have our own sort of CRM essentially capability. We have a bunch of leads, but for now, we're going to select this guy named Frank, the work at Salesforce, and we're going to click on next. What we also do within the software, which is super important, is to validate the email addresses in real time. So I already validated the email address of Frank. However, what you would do here naturally is click the button, let's validate the email address. And then from then on, it will do a real-time validation of that email address. And if it's valid, we would be able to use that. So you want to make sure you keep your bounce rate as close to 0% as possible. Then here's a very standard sequence builder, just like many solutions out there have. However, the difference is instead of writing a template and using various custom variables, you would actually want to use AI-based personalization because it helps you to deliver significantly better sales results. So where the AI exists is in the initial email here, where you can do either partial personalization or the full-on personalization. So the AI does not yet exist in the subject line section. So here we would just put, let's say for now, personalized at scale. However, with a static subject line like this, we're still seeing open rates anywhere between 60 to 90%. So it doesn't matter as much as you would think based on the content that's out there. What really matters is your email deliverability and whether you can land in the primary inbox of the recipient. So one of the key components is ensuring that you send unique email at scale rather than sending static templated content. So the partial personalization that we can do within a sequence builder is saying, hey, first name. Then we would actually insert a variable called the icebreaker. An icebreaker with the legacy software that's out there, that's something that you're using as a custom variable where within the CSV there was some sort of personalization to break the ice with the prospect. However, fast forward today, or when we have Salesforce, you're able to actually scan the LinkedIn profile of the recipient and you're able to do a sort of one-liner or two-liner personalization about that particular recipient. So it's either an observation or essentially a compliment. And the reason why you would use this is because you have to communicate something very specific to everybody in the list. So it will be a template, it will be a static content. So here a use case would be, let's say you do a webinar with some of your recipients, and then after that webinar, you want to follow up with the recording link, and you want to send maybe a discount code, etc. So it has to be a static content that you would send to everybody, right? But you still want to increase the probability of getting a reply back. So this is the AI-based icebreaker that you would include. You'd here sign off as I would send the first name, and you could actually use the icebreaker in the PS, which actually works really well, particularly in markets like the US. Though most clients, including ourselves, we use actually the full-on AI personalization for the initial email. And the way that it works is you would essentially click on the toggle called Generate with AI. And here you can see it asks us to select a fallback template because imagine if you have a list, let's say, of 1,000 contacts that you're looking to reach after, and you're looking to personalize every single email for that recipient. Sometimes there isn't a LinkedIn URL in your list. So in that case, AI will fail. So if it will fail, then naturally we will revert to using a template. So because the goal is still to process every single contact on the list. And if we're unable to do that, then we will revert to using a template. So again, we have already test here right now. Let's click save. And then you select also the tone that you want the AI to generate the content in. But the default tone in B2B sales in English will be actually the playful tone. So it's a default tone that's already set in here. So let's click on next. And this is where we're going to look at the AI outputs and what are the controls that we currently have here. So you can either personalize one by one every single contact, or you can actually personalize at scale. So here you can see that AI has personalized the email to Frank. You can regenerate as many times as you wish, so it's not going to eat your credits. And just to recap, it uses the product data that you have filled out, and then it uses Frank's LinkedIn information. So everything that we can see on that, whether that's the headline, the about section, his current title, job description, potentially a post that he has written in the last 30 days. And then AI has a goal to write a short and snappy email to Frank with a soft CTA in English in this particular case that will drive as many replies as possible. And then once you would mark the reply that will come back, say from Frank, in what's called the prime box, which aggregates all the replies across all the mailboxes, if you're going to mark that as a positive, AI will learn from that and it will generate more of these type of emails. So this allows you to scale significantly. And the way that you do that is actually by clicking on the button auto generate all. So imagine you have 1,000 leads in here, and then you click on auto generate all. That will be all done for you. If you want to do it one by one, you can actually proofread every single email. You can regenerate, you can delete something, add something. It's up to you. If you got any questions, just ping us on chat in the bottom right hand corner. And otherwise, good luck.